Welcome along to the Netball Unlock podcast for the latest instalment of our big interview series. Our guest today is quite a special one, and I'm going to give it all away straight away. No suspense here. She just recently made her England debut against New Zealand in the series that's just been, and I think we can say she kind of smashed it. Her story is a unique one, and I think one that everyone ought to hear. So without further ado, I'm introducing Jazz Brown to the podcast. Jazz, welcome. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me. Really excited.
No, thank you for coming on. It's our pleasure. Of course, after well, what can I say? Actually, plenty for us to talk about. But I think we ought to start with the most recent achievement because that feels right. On Saturday, 15th of November, you made your international test debut at 23 years old in the starting seven for England. I suppose when you made the Roses, Jazz, you kind of knew that this moment might happen, but talk me through it. What does it mean? I mean,
Yeah,
kind of amazing.
yeah, I don't think it could have gone like as better as what it did for me. And yeah, to get that starting seven was definitely a shock. But surprisingly, like I didn't feel like nervous or anything, which is probably meant like it was the right time for me. But yeah, like it just kind of felt like any other game for me, and that's kind of how I like wanted to approach it also, because I feel like if I started overthinking it and like overplaying it, like that's when I think I would become more introverted. But yeah, I kind of just treated it like any other game, and yeah, it went really well.
So who are you texting when you find out where you're starting?
I think the first person I texted was Meg, my agent, actually. Yeah, that was the first person I texted. And then I think after that was the family group chat, just to let them know that I was in the squad. Because I think for me, like, I was worried about like my family like making all the way to like come down, and then like I'm just gonna be like a bench warmer or like not even getting the 12 at all. So that was kind of what I was like most worried about, like coming into the tour, was like my parents are like spending all this money, like coming all this way, and like if I don't get on, it's gonna be a bit awkward. But now my parents would come in anytime, either way. So yeah, they're good.
And I understand actually on Sunday there were 4 aunties.
Yeah, yeah. I think on the Sunday I had about over 10 people coming for me. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a nice surprise. Like luckily I have family kind of like located like in London and then back home in Doncaster. Yeah, so it was really nice for them to all be there. It was a really special moment to share as well.
It's funny because you mentioned there was a risk of going introverted, but the Jazz Brown I saw in the first sort of like minute of the first game was not introverted at all.
No.
Like that energy, that mindset. Jazz, tell me about it because that was so special. Seeing you raw.
Yeah, I feel like I just need to do that to like kind of get me through the 60 minutes of netball. But yeah, like I feel like netball me and then like off the court me are two complete very different people. But yeah, I feel like when I raw, I kind of like to play to the crowd also. I feel like the crowd also like uplifts me and like gets me through games like that as well. So yeah, definitely an energy that I'll like continue to bring. Yeah, for sure.
Do do you look back at that and think, who is she?
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I think I took some of my teammates by surprise as well, when that came out. But yeah, no, definitely something that I will continue to keep bringing. So yeah, stay tuned.
I love it, and I think it's, you know, when you're coming up against the most informed goal shooter, or you know, certainly one of the biggest hyped shooters in the world, and you're coming out like that, your tongue comes sticking out at one point as well. I was like, whoa, because I was down that end.
Yeah.
That's it. Tell me about the challenge of Grace. What was that like?
Oh, yeah, she's just a tough shooter, like really, really tough shooter. That's probably the easiest way to say it. But yeah, I don't think I've ever played against an athlete like Grace. Just tall, athletic, can get off the ground, quickly. But yeah, I think like, again, like going into a game like that against a shooter like that, I think I kind of just again came into the mindset of like I've got nothing to lose, like, and yeah, just kind of play my game and just try and get as most like out of the experience as I can. And I think I kind of felt like I had a bit of an advantage in the sense of like, because like no one really knew like who I was like on the international scene, like no one kind of knew what to expect. So I feel like if I kind of just like did my thing, it would kind of like help to my advantage. And yeah, like she again, like she's a great shooter. And yeah, definitely something that I'll take on to further international series as well.
There's
Yeah.
certainly a moment where, I was watching you going up and up and
Yeah.
up, and
I don't think I've been on the floor as much as I have, like, genuinely. I think I was on the floor more than I was up in the air.
but those are the moments, I guess, when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
like.
No, it was good fun. I don't think I've had as much fun as I have, that past week. It was, yeah, really good.
And that's amazing because there's so much about all of this that could have been overwhelming. You could have been nervous, but it does strike me from the outside, and now from you saying here that it is mostly or has been mostly fun for you. Like, tell me a bit
Yeah.
about where that mindset comes from because that's quite liberating.
Honestly, I really don't know. Like, it kind of just felt right. And I always said, like, if I was to get like my debut, like I want to like be right, like physically and mentally. And I felt like that's exactly like how it was. Yeah, it just kind of felt right. And yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. I was just so, like, calm and cool, like, yeah, I didn't have any nerves at all. It was a bit weird. I was just thinking, like, "Why am I feeling this like this?" Like, it was really strange, but yeah, I think, like I said, like, I just kinda, like, treated it like any other game, and that's kind of how I did it. I think I don't know, like, I'm just, like, a calm character, so I feel like, yeah, that's just kinda how I approach things like that.
No, incredible. I mean, I've certainly when I've spoken to athletes before, there's the ones that are a bit like you, where they're just having fun. That for me, there's often the sense of like this isn't a forever thing. You
Mm,
know, there's a kind of finitude to everything. So actually, like, why am I stressing? What this is a privilege of mine that I get to do.
yeah.
Is that something that you recognize as well?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you don't get to debut as much as that. So I feel like, yeah, you only get one shot and I just had to like take it. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been doing like throughout my career is just like any opportunity I get, like I've just got to run with it and own it. And yeah, that's kind of I feel like that's why like I'm in the positions I am now, is just because like the opportunities I've got like down the line, like throughout my career and when I started netball, yeah, I just had to take as much as I can from the opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I suppose one question is, what did you have a welcome to international netball moment where something happened and you were like, oh, okay.
Probably like the first time I hit the floor, it was like a big thud, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, welcome to international netball. And I think like when Grace is putting up like volumes the way she did also, like it's just one of those things where it's just like Grace, like in my mind wasn't the priority. It was more like how else can I win ball like in the front, or like how else can I draw attacking contacts, things like that against my player. But yeah, yeah, it was a very really good day. Definitely a moment that I'll last forever.
Incredible. And then obviously less than 24 hours after, you're on court again for 60 minutes
Yeah,
and you win.
yeah.
And it like stunning. And it was a really satisfying win, I think, for an England team against a classy outfit like New Zealand. And you did it in front of your aunties.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
must have been
yeah.
quite good.
Yeah, no, to get that win in front of, like, my entire family was definitely, yeah, a core memory, but, yeah, I think the performance that we put on that Sunday was probably a performance that we wanted to put out the entire series. Unfortunately, that we weren't able to do that, but, yeah, I guess that's just the product that we can definitely show out there, and hopefully, like, in time to come, like, the series that we've got coming up, we're able to put out that performance consistently. Yeah.
Yeah, Jazz, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you about the third test.
Oh, it's like a knife to the heart, honestly. Yeah, just disappointing. I feel like, yeah, we never really got out the blocks, sadly. I think it was there for the taking, especially even in game one, like I think it was there for the taking. So yeah, to not be able to get out of that second, third gear was definitely heartbreaking. Yeah, I feel I was so emotional after that game. I think it was just like, like when I don't know how it was difficult to feel because it was just like obviously like like you've had a good international series and like it's so easy to be like so hard on yourself, but it's also like it was kind of just like fingertips, like the game was really just fingertips away, and yeah, it is what it is. Like we can take a lot of learnings from that. Yeah,
Yeah, and I guess maybe the reaction is because you're a winner, right? And
yeah,
that was.
yeah. I'm a sore loser, especially losing that way. I don't mind losing if we've played well. But yeah, I don't like losing in that way, and yeah, it was just annoying that we couldn't get out of that gear, but hey ho, it is what it is. On to the next.
Indeed,
Yeah.
and we'll get on to the next, oh gosh, Chloe, hello. But I guess Jazz also there's a reason we're spending time talking about this debut because in many ways it's really remarkable what you've achieved because actually you didn't start playing netball that long ago. But I want us to go on that journey. So can we start with little Jazz in Doncaster?
If
What are you
little, I
doing?
don't know how little I was. Probably still 6 foot. What was I doing? Well, how it first started was um my cousin kind of asked me to like drop in and out of like the local leagues, just like I think it was like a weekly like Wednesday, just locally, kind of just dropped in and out when I could. Did a bit of that, and to be fair, like I enjoyed it. Like I was just kind of playing like any other position. I think I was like shooter at one point, defense. Like, I was kind of just all over, filling in and out. And then yeah, I joined like my first netball club, which was Doncaster Rebels. And I remember like my first session, like I was absolutely petrified. I think that just comes from like my like introverted nature. Like I think I struggle with like new environments and things like that. So yeah, like I remember going to that first session, like I didn't even want to get changed. Like I was not, I think I trained in my school kit because I was just like, I'm not like, I don't want to be here. Like that. So yeah, kind of did a few match plays, got the hang of the rules, things like that. And then yeah, my dad kind of got me in touch with the South Yorkshire County. I think it was like South Yorkshire County. I don't know if it was a team or it was like a, I don't know what it was, like a camp type thing. So I did a few of those. Again, like started to learn the rules. And then at that time I was just predominantly like goalkeeper, goal defense. Um,
Sorry, we
yeah,
should say
so
how old are you here?
at this time I'm like 16, 17. Yeah, yeah.
16,
So
17.
yeah, 16,
So
17.
so pretty late on in the journey
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of most people.
Yeah, literally, 16, 17. To be honest, back then, like, I didn't really know, like, netball had, like, much more going for itself, like, other than, like, the local, like, parameter. I didn't really realize, like, it was, like, like a, I don't know, professional, like, national thing. I didn't know how far you kind of take it, with that. And yeah, at that time, I was just trialing for, like, any MPL team. I think I tried for Leeds Rhinos, Loughborough Lightning. I think I trained for Thunder. I can't remember back then. It might have just been, I think it might have just been Loughborough and Leeds. But anyway, I got into both. Again, was just shocked. I think like trialing against girls that like they already know each other, they already know the rules, they've been playing since they was 4 years old. Like I wasn't expecting anything of it. And like when I heard my name call, I remember like looking at my mum. I was like, oh my days, like this is getting real. Like this is real now. And yeah, so I decided to stay at Loughborough Lightning because at the time they didn't have an under 21s team for Leeds. So I went to Loughborough Lightning for that. And yeah, I was at Loughborough Lightning all the way up until under 21s. Um, just kind of training. I wasn't necessarily like in the 12 or anything. I was more of like a training partner at the time, and things like that. And then whilst I was at uni, I was also then playing Charnwood Warriors. So that was my Prem team, like Regional One team. So yeah, I was just trying to. I think my thing was like whilst I'm getting the training like once a week, twice a week, like I also just wanted to like learn the game like through match play. So I was just trying to play as much as I could, like whether that was back in Doncaster, whether that was like Regional Two for Charnwood. I was just trying to get as much as I could from it. And like at this time, like I was kind of just playing for fun. Like I didn't like whilst I still play for fun, but like I was just playing for the sake of it, just to like get me out the house. Cause like one thing like about my dad was like he didn't want me to just do nothing. Like he wanted me to do something. So like as soon as I quit tennis, like he was just like, okay, like what next? Like what are you gonna do next? So I was like, okay, I'll do netball. So yeah, I was doing Prem for Charnwood, and that's when I met my agent Meg at the time. So she kind of like spotted me at a Prem game against Academy. And she was kind of like, "Who are you?" type thing. Like, I hope you're playing for like an NSL team. I was like, "No, like I'm not. I'm kind of just like chilling at the moment, like just doing my thing." And then kind of went under 21s like finished. Like that's when I was kind of like it kind of hit me. I was just like, "Oh, like." I'm not finished. Like I didn't feel like I was. I kind of felt like my story was still like to be continued, and I felt like what's so difficult, like at the time, like with like MPL under 21s, was kind of like if you're not like in that loop, by the time like your time at under 21s is finished, like that was kind of like it. which was like kind of like heart wrenching for me because it's hard when you just feel like you're telling yourself you're not done, like, do you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like it felt like all the options were just like not available for me. So that's kind of how it felt. And like at the time, like it was COVID as well, so like it kind of got a bit dark because it was just like I felt like my purpose was a lot more than this, and it was just like when you don't have the options available to you, it can get a bit frustrating. So that's when luckily I was playing with Joe Tripp at the time for Charmwood. This is such a big story. Anyway, so I was playing Prem with Joe Tripp at Charmwood, and we like, had the partnership. I was goalkeeper, she was goal defense, blah blah blah. And then at the time, she was then signing for Seven Stars head coach, so she kind of invited me along to a trial. It was like an open, I think it was like an open trial, closed trial, whatever. So yeah, I tried for that. Got like a training associate for that. So that was kind of, it wasn't a training partner, it was like a associate. So like I kind of just dropped in and out like when I kind of wanted to. Like she gave me the flexibility without like trying to like create pressure for me to like attend like an NSL training session type thing. I don't think she wanted to make it like as a big deal, which I'm kind of grateful for because I feel like I think with me, like if I feel like pushed too hard, then that's when I'll kind of be like, whoa, type thing. So yeah, at the time, like I was kind of just dropping in and out like once a week, twice a week, things like that. And yeah, training was going well. I was like, Joe kind of like gave me a training plan, stuck to it, and like I was like probably like at that point like probably the strongest like I've been, like fittest I've been. And yeah, I remember Joe telling me like that's kind of when she realized like that's how much like I wanted it, was like the fact like I kind of just went away to like do it like without like anyone's help or things like that. Like that's kind of when she realized that I like wanted it more. Um and yeah, after that I got a my first contract for NSL at Seven Stars, due to like a player dropped out. So then that's kind of when like I could fill my role as like I think it was like training associate to an NSL squad. So yeah, I debuted against Surrey Storm, I think. Yeah, back in 2022. So yeah, again, that was another big core memory for me. And yeah, from there I was at Seven Stars for another year. Then obviously, sadly, that ended with Seven Stars. My heart breaks. And then yeah, I moved over to Panthers for a year, and then yeah, now I'm landed back at Leeds Rhinos. That was such a wishy-washy story. I feel like I need to like write it down. But yeah, that was kind of like the basis of it. Was yeah, just went through the ranks.
But it tells, I think, we'll also go to the bit before you started netball because I think that really explains why you find this sport, you quite enjoy it, and you don't actually want to let it go, and then you
Yeah.
push yourself, push yourself, push yourself. Because before netball, and we'll come back to this point here, but
Mm,
before netball, Jazz, you're playing tennis, and you're
yeah.
playing tennis really, really well. So tell me about that tennis journey as well. Like, when did that start? Why did you start tennis?
Yeah, tennis. I think I started really young, like probably like 4 or 5. It was only because like I literally live opposite a park, so there was a tennis court there. So I just had access to that, and then there was a club just around the corner also. So yeah, I was kind of just playing that for as long as I can remember, up until about like 15, 16. But yeah, I was just kind of playing through the ranks. I think with netball, with tennis, like it's a bit touchy because it's like I felt like my dad kind of wanted me to play. Oh, my dad loved the sport more than I did, and kind of felt like I kind of lost like the purpose for the sport I was playing. And I feel like I don't know, when you're young like that, you kind of just like want to go out with your friends, and like I suppose I didn't really understand like the importance of sport back then. Was like I don't know. Not that I wanted to like doss around in town or anything, but it was more like, I don't know, I wanted to be with my friends and things like that. But like I couldn't do that because like I had tennis like 5 times a week. Like it was a constant thing. And yeah, it was definitely difficult because it was just like, I don't know, it brought like a lot of problems like to the house and things like that. Like if I didn't get the results that I wanted in tennis, then like I'd be like so like hard on myself, and like, yeah, it was definitely difficult. And I feel like I think I got to an age like at tennis where I was just like, I feel confident enough to like tell my parents that like I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is not for me. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. And like I don't know. It's a lot of money and time to pump into a sport if like you're not enjoying it. And yeah, it got to a point where I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is not for me. And like I feel like when you've been playing like a solo sport for that long, and it's been like so it was a bit traumatic, to be quite honest. Like when it's so traumatic like that, like you just don't want to do like a solo sport anymore. And I was just like, get me to a team sport, like I can make some friends, like I can have fun, things like that. So yeah, yeah, definitely like difficult, but obviously no hard feelings with tennis. I still watch it here and there, but yeah, yeah, that was my life. And yeah, I played through the ranks. Like my highest was playing for Wimbledon, so that was like kind of like my highest. I don't know, career point. If it was a career, I couldn't really call it a career, but yeah, highest peak was yeah playing for Wimbledon. That was definitely like a core memory. Also, like there's not many people that can say they've played there. But yeah, definitely cool. No hard feelings with tennis, but yeah, I love netball more.
It's a it is so interesting that you highlight there like the solitary nature of tennis because I think that is actually really understated
Yeah.
when you look at the game because to me it's always one of those mental sports where like you watch Wimbledon and you watch like the top players go through it and then when they sort of have to the only person out there that's going to affect anything is them
Yeah.
in that moment and that is actually I don't know so hard
It's
so
so
I can
hard,
imagine.
so hard, and like at a young age like that, like you're going through like hormonal stuff as well. Like everything's like at its worst. Like I've genuinely never had a feeling like it, and I feel like when people have heard of like netball mums or like netball parents, like wait till you hear about tennis parents. Like they're insane, like genuinely insane. Like I remember, like, I think I was at like an England camp, and like we were kind of chilling in like the tennis area, and at the time there was like a tennis tournament. And like you kind of just look around, I'm just thinking, like, I'm so glad this isn't my life anymore. Like genuinely like a tournament like in itself is just like so intense. Like and it's like it's really long hours. Like you probably play like 2, 3 games in a day and then you gotta go back tomorrow. Like it was just a lot for me. And like I suppose like it's just not for everyone and it definitely wasn't for me. It definitely wasn't for me.
But so you found, I suppose, what though that tennis journey, there is a lot in it that I think sets you up for netball. Even
uh,
taking apart the independence aspect of it, the footwork, no,
Yeah,
like
yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, definitely the footwork, things like that. And just like, I feel like net, keep saying netball. I feel like tennis, like, kind of molded me like into the person I am, and in the sense of like, I am very independent and like I'll happily like train on my own or like like for example like when Joe gave me that training plan like I was like straight on it like and like I could just do it myself like no problem. But yeah, like again, like the transferable skills of like the footwork, the reactions, things like that, that all kind of went into my favor. But I remember like when I first like played netball, like I still couldn't do a shoulder pass. Like I was genuinely shoulder passing, like I was like trying to serve. Like it was just a mess. It was genuinely just a mess. But yeah, like those transferable skills, but yeah, definitely shoulder pass wasn't one of them.
yeah, you've not got a racket. Although I'm sure you kind of wish that maybe you might for a
Yeah.
smash, like to get up there.
I think I needed a racket against Grace just to give me some extra bounce.
But I think it also what you're describing there, like being able to crack on with it yourself, like when obviously you've been around the league a couple of years now, a few years now, and then also at the internationals. When you warm up, you've got your headphones in,
Yeah.
and you're on your own, actually, like doing your activations and whatnot. Where are you in that space? What's going on in Jazz Brown's head?
Where am I? I don't know. Like, I feel like I have to do something like that. I think it's just more for like just to get used to the court, get to used to like the surroundings, things like that. I don't know. It just kind of I don't know, it gets me to a central point in my thing, and I feel like if I didn't do that, like I'd be in the changing rooms and like there's just a lot of noise, there's a lot of excitement going on in the changing rooms, which again I don't mind. Again, it's just not for me personally. Like I just like to be in my own space, own headphones on, just moving around the court. Yeah, just something that I like to do.
Do you think you're somebody that I get the impression, I don't know what you think, that you know yourself quite well. You're 23, but you have a good sense of yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think like I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and like I feel like I'm not gonna like put myself through something that like is gonna like harm me and things like that. But yeah, like I think on game day, like I have like a schedule, like a set thing that I need to be doing. Like, and if I'm not on court, in my headphones, things like that, then that's when I'll kind of like start overthinking and be like, oh my God, this is real. But yeah, like that was something I definitely had to do for like my debut, and like knowing that I was in the starting seven, I was like, get me on that court straight away with some headphones on so I can like calm down a bit. But yeah, no, definitely something that I will always do.
And what are you listening to? Presumably it's not a podcast.
Lol, no, definitely not Mocha, sorry. No, like probably anything
Horrific,
Drake.
sorry, that's
Yeah.
horrific for me.
Well, like, people always suggest a podcast. Not when I'm warming up, but like if I'm like day-to-day headphones. But I don't know, like I struggle if I need to like be in a podcast like when I'm laid down, like when I'm chilling. Whereas like if I'm walking around in like wearing a podcast, like I just there's just a lot going on. I'll have to like rewind like every 10 seconds to like figure out what's actually going on. But yeah, like in game day, like probably Drake, Beyonce, anything old school. It's just a mixture, to be honest. Anything that gets me hype. Yeah.
That's good. Well,
Yeah.
okay. So we know you have to be horizontal to to
Yeah, I
listen
need
to a
to be
podcast.
at peace.
And then, coming back to your NSL journey, because in 2024 you're in the All-Star 7, and
Yeah,
then you're in the Future Roses, not long after that.
crazy.
So, did you just say really?
I said crazy.
Crazy.
Sorry.
You were no, 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 that's so funny. Um, Jazz, that's a trajectory that's really, really impressive.
Yeah.
Has it taken you by surprise?
A little bit, yeah. I think like the pace that I've kind of gone like on this trajectory is definitely taking me by surprise, and like it was something that I had to like adjust to quite quickly. Like also like even just like your body changes. I feel like when like you're in the gym, like you're training all this time, like and you have to eat differently, like your lifestyle completely changes. And I feel like I had to adjust to that like quite quickly. And like I was at uni at the time also, so it was just like lots of things to consider and lots of things to like sacrifice. Like I had to do an extra year at uni, like just to kind of like play like netball to the level I was. But yeah, the trajectory was definitely, yeah, it is insane. Yeah, definitely something that I wouldn't have predicted like at all. Like originally, like I was kind of just playing for fun, like as a hobby. But yeah, to say that this is kind of like my job is, yeah, definitely something that I wouldn't be able to think to say at all.
And just the people in your life around you, they're on this roller coaster a little bit with you. What do they say to you for this kind of, in these moments where you're like, God, this is actually it's a bit bloody crazy.
Yeah, my mum absolutely loves it. My mum loves the journey. She loves the ride. She's coming to every game. Same for my dad. I think my dad fangirls like about every other netball player, more than me probably. But yeah, no, my parents they've been really great, like in this space also, and just been really supportive. And yeah, like I think just to see their faces like after a game is like it just makes it all worth it. Yeah, it was really cool for them.
And Jazz, I have to ask because I think it's known, but I don't know how well known it is.
Oh gosh.
But you have no. Well, actually, two things because I've heard about a certain cat of yours,
Oh,
Kiwi.
yeah, Kiwi. So, yeah, Kiwi's my prized possession. I also have another cat, his name's Billy, but yeah, Kiwi's my son, that I bought. I bought him at uni, really impulsive. I'm just, yeah, really impulsive person, and I feel like I'm very spontaneous, and I feel like if I have an idea, I definitely want to do it. And yeah, literally said as soon as like I get my uni house to myself, I'm getting a cat. That's exactly what I think I moved in 2 days and I was like, I got this cat, £50, picked him up. It was just a little kitten. But yeah, it's genuinely like just gives me so much joy. And I feel like when I'm at like England camp and things like that, like I just get like FOMO. Like my parents are like sending me like pictures all the time of him and I'm just like, oh, like I just want to go home. But yeah, definitely like my pride possession. Yeah, he's been at uni now with me for 2 years. He's like my emotional support. But yeah, I'm a crazy cat lady, so yeah, any other cat, I don't mind.
A few cat mums in the netball team as well, with Helen Housby, also the quite
Yeah,
famous Roger the cat.
yeah. No, anyone that loves cats is a green flag for me. Green flag.
But Jazz, I was also going to ask you, in terms of known, well known, is you have Australian and Jamaican backgrounds.
Hmm.
Like, this is the makings of a netball superstar, no?
No.
What was the decision to play for England? You know, why did that come trumps over Australia, Jamaica? And also, you know, really exciting coming up, you're going to be playing against Jamaica, right? So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that flavour.
Yeah, so like my mum, she's comes from an Australian background and then my dad comes from the Jamaican one. But yeah, I think picking for England, I don't know, it just felt right and it just felt like that's kind of where my story like came from was in England and like at the time like there was like a bit of a gap in the market for like a goalkeeper also. So I was just like, okay, like if if this is right, then like my opportunity is literally staring right at me at the face. So like if that's what I want, then I've got to go for it. And that's like what I did. And yeah, like playing for Australia and Jamaica, again, very good countries to play netball for. But yeah, England and netball just felt right. Yeah.
Is there any sort of sense of conflict with your parents? Would they have wanted you to have, you know?
Nah, I feel like as long as I'm happy, they're happy. Yeah, I feel like I don't know, when you play like for your country, like you still have the opportunity to go to those countries also. So I feel like that's the beauty in like I suppose my profession. It sounds weird to say like my profession. But yeah, like in my job, like you get to travel the world. So yeah, like I'll still be able to visit those countries also.
And Jazz, I suppose, looking at your trajectory and what you've done, Australia is a destination that netball players want to get to. Is that
Mhm.
something that you aspire to SSN?
Yes, definitely something that I have my eyes on. But yeah, I feel like yeah, I don't know, like definitely something that I would want to do. I don't see myself living in the UK to be quite honest. It just gives me dull vibes. But yeah, I would love to play in the SSN and like I feel like to see my grandma in the crowd also would just be like so like it just fill my heart. But yeah, the SSN I feel like it's a complete different like level and complete different gravy of netball. So yeah, definitely something that I would like to get my hands on.
I suppose you've had a bit of a flavour of it with Charlie Layton being in camp with you. What is she? I mean, I felt I ask everybody who comes through what she's like. We had her on the podcast, and she's like unbelievable energy.
Yeah.
But I really think a bit of a coup for England to have her.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, do you think she's elevated your game being in camp with her?
Yeah, I feel like with Shani is like what you see is what you get. So like she is such, I don't know, just a bright, bubbly person, like just radiates positivity and like yeah, she's definitely helped me. Just I think she just like instilled a belief in me like I felt like I didn't really have like going into like England camp, like I think like going into England camp was probably like one of like the scariest things like I've done. Again, like I struggle with new environments. I didn't really know like the girls like personally. Like obviously I played with them or played against them, but on that personal level, like I didn't really have that to begin with. But yeah, that belief, like I feel like Shani like definitely like instilled within me, and like I don't know, she's just electric. I really don't know how to describe it. Like she's just like a great person and like just a great person to have like on your side.
Yeah, I could see her on her like tippy toes, just
Yeah.
belting instruction.
Yeah, no, she's great. Definitely great. And like I think with Shani also is like she kind of will like cater to you. So like if you like don't want feedback in that type of way, or like if you don't like want her to say anything like on the bench, like she'll happily like shut up. But yeah, like I think that's the beauty of her, like she'll just like happily like cater like to the person individually. But yeah, like I said, like just a great person to have on the bench.
And I suppose with her, have you found that there were sort of ga what am I trying to say? A gap of basics, so because in your time frame, I'm just going to phrase this like this, but in the time frame you've learnt netball, you've gone from local to Prem to NSL to now international. What are the steps up for someone to try and understand who maybe is just a fan of the game? Like what are the levels like? What is the intensity like? What is the difference at that top level between going back further down?
It's hard to describe, but I just feel like I've never trained as hard as I have in England environment than I have, like, ever. Um, I feel like with England camps, like, we never we never had the time to have this like physical block, like this pre-season type thing before we went into a series. So like we spent a lot of time like just like on like our conditioning and things like that. But yeah, like I've never trained like as hard as that like ever. And I feel like it's just so like demanding, like especially like at camps also like you're in this bubble like 5 days a week. Up like I mean we did like a 10-day camp. So like we're in this like big bubble, like training like almost every day. So yeah, like it's definitely like challenging like physically, but also like mentally, like to be in like the same space, like with the same girls for like 5, 10, like 14 days, like it can be a lot. But yeah, like they can't with England, like I think the beauty of it is like you have that downtime also to kind of like go into your own space, like if you're not as social as like someone else, but like yeah, you have the downtime to kind of like do your thing also. But yeah, like I said, like I've never trained as hard as that ever. Which I think is good because I feel like for me, like if you was to tell me to kind of like replicate that session like in my own time, like on my own, like I wouldn't be able to do that. So like if I was to now like go into an England camp, like you have to do the training, like you've got no choice. So like it like if they're gonna do a hard session, like you're gonna have to do the hard session. So like yeah, it's definitely been beneficial for me because like I said, like I wouldn't be able to replicate that like on my own, like in a sports hall. So yeah.
Lung busting kind of stuff. Is that what we're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, for sure. I can't describe it, like, anyone will say, like, they've never trained like that as much, as hard as that, but yeah, I feel like it's something that we need, like, especially for, like, coming up to, like, a Commonwealth Games where, like, you're playing, like, game after game, back to back, and, like, you get in, I don't know, like, so many minutes under your belt, like, each day, like, it's something that we had to train for and, like, hopefully, like, through, like, the NSL season or SSN season, like, the girls are able to, like, maintain that fitness then going into the Commonwealth Games because, yeah, like, it's what we need to, like, be able to put out performances, like, back to back, like in England camp, like we've always spoke about that those back to back performances, and like it's something that we've trained for, like in England camp. So like we probably do like 3 match plays, like on the bounce, like each day, just to be able to like train our bodies to be able to like put out performances like each day to a good standard. Also, but yeah, like I said, like I think the key thing is like how we are going to maintain it when we're away from the England stuff to because I don't think we actually have that much time whilst before the NSL season finishes and then going into the Commonwealth Games. I don't actually think we have that much time to like kind of like get up to speed again. So yeah, that's going to be the key is just like maintaining it.
We mentioned Jamaica,
Hmm.
and then after that, we now know you have South Africa
Yeah.
in January. So many South Africans in NSL that you're familiar with. Are you looking forward to that one as well? Because they've obviously had their hit out against Australia and New Zealand, and then going back undercover to hunker down and come back out again.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just looking forward to any international series I'm looking forward to. But yeah, to be able to travel to South Africa also is something that I've never done. So it will be cool if I get the opportunity. But yeah, yeah, like I said, like there's a lot of crossover of South Africa and NSL and SSN with those girls. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to going over there and also just to see my teammate Sana for the first time. That'd be cool. And then we can take her back to Leeds so we can get training.
Yes, so Jazz, I have to ask you about that because I mean, I think a number of us were watching you go with Fumi thinking, oh my God, imagine with at Leeds with San Marie Visser in front of you, who also has been a guest of this podcast. She is a very driven individual, obviously had that experience in SSN and then out. And we've seen her again in action across a number of bibs.
Mm.
Super exciting, no?
Yeah, yeah, she's crazy athlete. I think to be able to play like more than like 1, 2 positions is pretty insane also. So yeah, I'm really excited to be playing alongside her and yeah, we can't wait to have her back in Leeds.
And I guess also somebody that has a multi-sport background, like she was doing athletics for a good time as well. So
Yeah, I
there's
see
something
that
like
to be
that.
honest. Yeah, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I do see that.
She got
Yes.
a good wind-up shoulder pass from the discus days, I think.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
So Jazz, can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to make that move to Leeds Rhinos? That to be is it to be a bit closer to home?
Yeah, just a lot of factors. I feel like now I've graduated from like Loughborough Uni, like I felt like I wasn't like tied to the Midlands in terms of like a netball team, and I felt like I kind of had the freedom to like pick wherever. But yeah, like I said, like Leeds is close to home, so at the minute like I'm living at home. I don't know how long for, kind of losing my mind here, but I'll see. But yeah, just gonna live at home for a year, save a bit of money. But yeah, like I don't know, Leeds was just I don't know, Leeds just had something special and just like an exciting vision that Lauren said was definitely something that I want to be on board with. And like, I don't know, the defensive unit was definitely like a big factor, like playing with Sana and Cassie at the front. I feel like probably like one of the strongest defense in the league, on paper anyway. So hopefully like if we can get clicking as soon as we can, I feel like yeah, we'll be a very strong unit together. But yeah, I think the Panthers, it was definitely like a difficult year. I feel like when you've kind of come off like 2 seasons with stars where like genuinely like I've never been part of like a franchise like that. It was just incredible, like just great vibes all around. And I feel like maybe it was like my like naivety, but like I don't know, like when you had a big chunk of us like going across from Stars to Panthers. I feel like I was kind of expecting that same like vibe to continue, and it just never kind of like kicked off for whatever reason. And yeah, there was just a lot of things going on behind the scenes, like with the club also, which I kind of felt like was a bit of a distraction for me and like a distraction like for my performances, and I felt like I couldn't really like get going without kind of like having to like worry about like external things like going on at the club. But yeah, like there's no like hard doing with them, like wish them well, and things like that. But yeah, I feel like with Panthers, that's definitely like a closed chapter of mine. Yeah.
I mean, it is really interesting, Jazz, because we have seen a lot of movement out of Panthers, not just yourself, but
hmm
coaching and players, and maybe there is something to what you're saying there about you can't replicate cultures are unique in each team, right? You can't
Yeah.
always copy and paste them, and you need the right people around you
Yeah.
and whatnot. So I guess has Lauren been in contact with you? Have you heard anything from Leeds about your performances?
Yeah, no, they've been supporting and they sent me flowers, which was a nice surprise from them. But yeah, I think that just kind of says a lot about the team and the club is that they're always like I don't know, they always want you to do well and like I don't know, they've always been like beside me for every step of the way. So yeah, grateful for them. And I feel like with culture, like I've never I don't know, like going into the sport, like I never really took it as serious as probably what I do now. Like I feel like now I've kind of experienced like a year at Panthers where like it probably wasn't as great. Yeah, like I've never really like took culture seriously as probably like what I do now, and it's definitely something that like I want to try and like drive and create at Leeds because like for me like I wouldn't want like any player to kind of like go through like kind of what the players at Panthers like had to go through and things like that. So yeah, definitely something that like I want to like drive and take more seriously also like because I feel like culture like definitely does like play a huge role on like your performances and like the whole team success. So yeah, definitely something that like I want to try and drive at Leeds.
Yeah, and I think Leeds will be absolutely delighted to have you. Certainly. I suppose, Jazz, more broadly, sort of stepping away from netball for a minute,
Mhm.
what is Jazz off the court like? You've kind of suggested you're quite peaceful, quite calm, quite collected. You have your cat Kiwi, we understand
Yeah.
that. Your family, at home. But what are you passionate about? What drives you as a person?
At the like when I'm not when I'm not playing netball, sorry, like I just have I don't know how to frame it. Like I have a drive to like kind of I don't know push the next generation of netballers, and I feel like I like I don't know how to describe it. Like I just like to inspire like the young girls, and I feel like I get that through coaching. So like I coach at Charnwood also, so like I coach the younger lot. I like rather than like obviously you want to improve them as like netballers, but like to be able to like improve them as people also like is definitely something that like I have a big push for is like just to make them like nice people and like like someone who like wants to train or like wants to be a good person at school, things like that. Like rather than focusing too much on netball, like I do have like a strong um what's the word, like a strong passion to like yeah like improve like the young girls as people, but yeah like something like I really enjoy, like I love seeing their faces um every time like I'm there, and like it's annoying like I can't be there as much as I can at the minute, but like hopefully like going into the new year like I'll be able to show up a lot more. But yeah, I think with Charmwood it's definitely like a club like close to my heart, and a club that like kind of like made me and had like a big influence in that. So yeah, like off the court, I'm coaching or I'm sleeping or I'm at the gym or like I'm with my car. Like I don't know, like I'm just I think I'm a bit of a homebody. So like I like to be like in my own space. I like to just be chilling. Like I don't really like to do too much. But yeah, like off court, like yeah, you probably just see me at home.
I think that's so lovely what you're saying about connecting with the kids, because in so many ways, Jazz, at the top I described your journey as like unique because you have achieved so much so quickly. And
Hmm.
I suppose what an inspiration for people, for young girls coming up who think I might have missed that opportunity, that I didn't do well there. Actually, there's
Yeah.
still time, isn't that what we're
Yeah,
saying?
it's so sad, like, like, you hear girls and it's just, like, they think their story's ended, and it's just, like, it's actually not even begun, like, you just don't know it yet, and, like, I feel like it's so hard, like, in that ball because, like, I don't know, it's so easy to be, like, so hard on yourself and to think, like, the world's ending and, like, your career's not gonna start the way it is and things like that, but, like, yeah, like, if I can be that person to, like, instill that belief in just one person, then, like, I feel like I've done, like, my duties. But, yeah, like, definitely something that I wanna keep pushing, like, to the girls is just, look, like, if you didn't get into, like, an under 17, like, MPL squad, like, it doesn't mean you can't be, like, in England in a few years' time, like, it's just not that deep, and sadly, like, girls like, young girls that, like, they think like that, and it's so hard, like, to hear because it's just, like, I don't know, like, what it is or who does it, like, who makes it so, like, intense to what it actually is, like, I don't know, but, like, yeah, I always try to, like, remind the girls, especially, like, during trial season, like, if you don't get into it, like, 1 year, like, it doesn't mean you can't get into the next, or, like, it doesn't mean you can't get it in the same season, like, you never know what happens, like, someone can just drop out, and I feel like I don't know, I always try to remind them, like, when that opportunity comes, like, you've got to be ready, so, like, again, like if you didn't get into a team, like you still need to be training, you still need to be doing these things because when the opportunity comes, like you need to like you want to be ready like mentally and physically. So yeah, you still got to do the work behind the scenes also. So yeah, that's definitely something like I try to push with the girls. But also just to have fun. Like I don't know. I feel like with my coaching, I wouldn't even say I'm a good coach. I feel like I'm probably more of like a cheerleader, to be quite honest. I probably make more noise like screaming on the sidelines than I do coaching. But yeah, definitely something like I do love, and yeah, I love being there for the girls.
Yeah, and I actually that's so funny because there's something shiny about that from what you've described, being a cheerleader. But it is that I think that, if we're gonna keep, girls in sport, girls playing, you have to connect with them and remind
Yeah.
them that actually, even when you're on making your debut for England, like, you can have fun at the same time, and this if it's not for that, what is it
Yeah,
for, I
what's the
suppose?
point? Like, what is the point if you're not having fun doing what you like you like? I don't know, like I always like I think I always stick with that. It's just like if you're not having fun then like I don't know, like where like what drives you? Like for me that is fun, and that's kind of I feel like that's how like my personality shows on court is like I'm having fun. Like if I'm not smiling or if I'm not sticking out my tongue, then like I'm probably having the worst time of my life. So that's probably like a warning flag for everyone, like if I'm not
I
smiling.
suppose a bit tied to this, but the bigger picture question, you're kind of part of this, netball in transition era, right? As it professionalizes, and you're somebody that is, on this trajectory. Where do you see? What do you want from netball? Where do you see the game going? What would be the dream for you? Where do you see it in like 10 years?
Oh, good question. I think the first one, I don't know, I'd like to see it on like mainstream TV. Like I want to see like netball. I don't know, like on is it billboards? Is that what you call it in the UK? I don't know. On the billboards, like on the buses, on the side of buses, like at the bus stops. Like I want to see like our faces like all over the country. Yeah, definitely something. I feel like netball kind of deserves that, and I don't know. It's hard with the professionalization because, like, I understand their vision, but I feel like I don't know. It's hard because it's just like I don't know if they're doing the right steps to kind of like get to that stage at the moment. Like, I don't know. It even starts with like ticket prices to get to games. Like, I don't know, £70 for a singular person to get into a netball game. I find crazy, but I suppose I don't know the running costs of a game. But I feel like at this stage, like you want to get like bums on seats. That you want to fill the crowd, and like you want to create an atmosphere that like wants people to go back. And I feel like I don't know, at this stage, especially like I don't know, we played at AO Arena and it was probably half full. And like I don't know, we don't deserve that. Like the people that are buying the tickets don't deserve that. And like I don't know, like where do you go from there in the sense of like, is £70, £80 a ticket reasonable? For me personally, like no, and like I wouldn't even expect my parents to pay that money if we didn't get like free tickets through like the players and things like that. But yeah, it's hard. Like it is hard. I for me, like honestly, I don't really understand like the costs like behind the scenes, but like if I'm speaking like from a simplistic mind, like you want to get bums on seats, how do you do that? Lower the prices to get people going. That would probably be like my first step, but who
Yeah,
knows?
make it accessible. No,
Yeah,
no, no, it's really important
yeah, yeah,
because actually that's the bottom line for so many people is like,
yeah,
can I get there and how much is it gonna cost me?
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, accessibility is definitely a huge one.
Yeah, I love the vision of the billboards. One thing I think is missing is, why is there not a shoe? Why
Oh,
has a netball player not got a
oh my
shoe, you
God.
know?
I know, like, definitely that's something I would want to be like. I would want to be like the first person to create like a netball shoe. Like that would be so cool. But like I don't even know. I don't want to slug off like the I don't know, the like advertisements, things like that. But sometimes I feel like sometimes it's just a bit like corny and like I don't know, it's not cool, like, I don't know, you're not I don't I feel like it's just a bit too, like, girlified, and it's just, like, for me, like, that's not me, and, like, that's not how I, like, wanna see netball, like, and, like, you're not just attracting girls, like, you're also attracting male fans also, and, like, I don't know, like, if you're telling me, like, what's my netball ick, and, like, things like that, it's just like, oh, like, it's just like we're, like, 5 years behind, like, we need to be doing, like, I don't know, like, highlight reels, like, I don't know, just, like, keep the ball moving, make it cool, like, I don't know, like, look at Nike, like, look what Nike are doing, like, things like that, like, that's definitely something, like, we can do, like, as this, like, country, like, in this team, in the sport, but I don't know, it just feels like we're just a few steps behind of what we need to be doing.
Yeah, I think the word is cool. I think that's the
Yeah,
key,
just
isn't it?
make it trendy, like, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I look at some of the content, I'm just like, "Oh," like, just makes me wanna, like, pull my eyes out sometimes.
Yeah, and actually, when funnily enough, when we had Shani on, she was talking about players being at the forefront of that and putting themselves out
Yeah.
there and like, driving the conversations they care about, whatever it is they care about, just drive it forwards, put yourself out there. Is that something that you recognize? Is that something you would want to do?
Yeah, and I just feel like getting players' inputs and like what should be going out there, what should be like advertised. I feel like it's just such a huge gap that's missing is just like players' input because actually like I don't know, like we have so many good ideas, but like no one's kind of like asked us like what those ideas are. And I feel like I don't know, we could definitely drive it and like yeah, definitely players should be having a more huge input. And I feel like also the consumers should be definitely getting an input into what they want to see like on the court. Because I feel like essentially like they're the ones that are paying. So it's just like if they want to see certain things and like they should at least be able to have their voices heard. For sure.
Jazz Brown in charge, is that what we're saying?
Yeah. I don't know, we need saving. Uh,
Definitely. I mean, I guess finally, Jazz, like this is really big picture, I
mhm.
suppose. 2032? Are you back in the bid?
Yeah, I want to see myself in the Olympics. I want to get the Olympic tattoo, all sorts. But yeah, no, for sure. Like to see netball in the Olympics, that'd be yeah, crazy, very crazy.
And we should say to anybody listening, sign up. There's a petition going
Yeah,
around.
sign up, guys. Sign up if you want to see my face in Brisbane. Is it?
Kind
Is
of a
it?
home
It's in
Olympics, no?
Brisbane, of course. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to see my face, sign up now.
Jazz, listen, it's been fantastic to have you on.
Thank you so much.
We've been on the journey. I'm pleased for it. Um, yeah, and I suppose you've got a lot coming up, so we'll keep in contact with you.
Yeah, for
But
sure. Thank
congratulations,
you so
and
much.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.